Hello, I'm Executive Chef Joseph Schultz and welcome to our kitchen. Today I'd like to share with you one of my recipes and procedures for making oxtail. Oxtail is very popular in Caribbean cuisine and in other parts of the culinary world. In the last 5 years it has become increasingly popular as well. Therefore it has become a lot more expensive also. Oxtail, many uses for it. You can just braise it or stew it and thicken the liquid that it's cooked in and serve it with rice or mashed potato. You could make soups out of it, consomme from it. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna braise ours with like a myriad or a dry bean medley, and we're gonna braise them together and make a bean ragout to go with it. The great thing about the oxtail is when you're cooking it, it's going to deliver a lot of flavor. It's also going to make the liquid that you're cooking it in gelatinous and very rich. So join me now as I show you how I make this amazing, flavorful dish. And at this time, I'd like to say thank you very much to all of the current subscribers. Your support is very much appreciated. If this is your first time here, or visiting again and you've not yet done so, please feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. Be up to date to our weekly posts. Let's get cooking. To begin, we're going to quick soak our beans. What I did was I brought the unsalted water to a boil, and then I added my beans. And I let them boil for 5 minutes, and then I turned the heat off and put a lid on and allow it to sit for an hour. While the beans are sitting and soaking, let's preheat our Dutch oven over medium-high heat. Let's add a little grapeseed oil, and then go ahead and place in our oxtail. And we're gonna go ahead and sear this till we get nice brown color all around. Well, now that our oxtails are searing up really nice and our beans are steeping, let's go ahead and add water to our Dutch oven. We're now going to put our lid on, and we're going to go ahead and allow this and turn the heat down to low, medium low, and then go ahead and put the lid on. We're going to go ahead and let this braise for 1 hour. Well, here we are after the 1 hour braising. Let's go ahead and remove our lid. It smells incredible. The first thing we're going to want to do is let's temporarily remove our oxtail. Let's now put in our bean medley. Gonna give this a stir. And I want to turn our heat back up to about medium. We want to get this back to a simmer. Just a little stir. Now let's go ahead and place our oxtails back into the Dutch oven. The reason I put the beans in this way is because I want to make certain that the beans are submerged in the liquid. Now that we got that there, let's go ahead and add a little more of our water. Allow this to come to a simmer. As soon as it comes to a simmer, we will put the lid back on it, reduce the heat to low, and allow it to simmer for about another hour to an hour and a half. Check it after about 1 hour and see if the beans are ready and the meat, and just go from there. Well, here we are after our cook time. The meat, look at that, just coming apart nice and tender. And our beans are definitely cooked. Now that I've seasoned it with the salt and pepper, Now I want to finish off with a little fresh parsley and little tomatoes. Tomato just gives it a little bit of color. You could put the tomato in as you're cooking it, but the problem with that is they will cook up to nothing, and I'm really not looking for it to be tomato-ish. It's all about the beans, and then the tomatoes just to add a little color and acid to the dish. One final ingredient is optional. This is very rich from the gelatinous characteristics or properties of the oxtail. One last thing I will do is I add a touch of sherry vinegar to it. This acid is going to cut through some of the richness and really add a nice balance to it. A lot of times, even with my lentil soup and things like that, I like to add pickled onions on the top. Again, the acid cuts through the richness of the protein in the bean or the legume, and then also, obviously, the collagens from the oxtail. Now we are ready for service. Well, there you have my recipe for braised oxtail with a bean ragout. If you're looking for your bean ragout to be a little more whole bean and a little less broken down as mine, my recommendation is to cook your oxtail or braise your oxtail for 2 hours to 2.5 hours prior to adding your beans to the Dutch oven. That will finish both items at the same time. Your oxtail will be tender and your beans will still remain whole. Whereas you see mine, how they kind of broke down a little bit. Not a big deal. Adding the acid, the sherry vinegar is an option, and the tomatoes. That's going to help with cutting some of the richness from the beans because of the protein, because of the heavy density of it, as well as the collagen and the gelatinous, rich characteristics from the oxtail. The acid will really make the dish feel a little lighter than it actually is, and also helps kind of cleanse the palate a little bit too. Some takeaways with it. As you notice, I did not season the beans when I cooked them. Adding salt to the water when you're cooking your bean will create kind of a harder shell on it, and it makes it harder for them to cook and break down. Also, soaking the beans is very important. It helps with flatulence, it helps prevent it or minimize it, as well as it helps to create a more even cooking for the beans. Now, several options. One, as you've seen my little quick soak on them. You also could just soak the beans overnight. If you do soak them overnight, keep in mind that the cook time on the bean will be significantly shorter, probably around 25% shorter. So if you go that direction, be certain to cook your oxtail longer to accommodate for the 25% decrease in cook time on the beans, if you're hoping to finish all the items at the same time. Well, thank you very much for joining. I hope you enjoyed the demonstration. I hope it inspires you to, try making or try preparing oxtail for the first time, or if you already make oxtails, and hopefully this inspires you to try another variation of your existing recipes. So thank you very much for joining. Yodfire.